LeBron James seemingly put the Lakers on notice through a variety of comments about his future after the team did not make any moves at the trade deadline. After this year, LeBron has one more year left on his contract, and so our insider extraordinaire, Adrian Wojnarowski, joins us as always. Woj, there does seem to be, or at least people's perception is, some tension now between LeBron and the Lakers front office. What do we know about the situation?
Well, Greeny, in the aftermath of All-Star Weekend, I'm told that LeBron James' agent, Rich Paul, the CEO of Clutch Sports, met with Jeannie Buss, the Lakers owner, their GM, Rob Pelinka, Tuesday in L.A. to talk about this. And I'm told that Rich Paul made it clear to them they are not looking to upend management in L.A. and that they see a shared responsibility, accountability with how this season has gone. They're not just putting it on the organization, ownership, coaching, front office. Certainly what LeBron James said in Cleveland, talking about the door not being closed to Cleveland, certainly fueled a lot of discussion about the possibility he could leave in free agency after next season. I'm told that Rich Paul made it clear to the Lakers that his intention, that LeBron's intention, is to be a Laker and to figure out a way here to get this team back to championship contention. And listen, get through this season. They're hopeful they can get Anthony Davis back. I'm told 4 to 5 weeks, certainly before the playoffs. See what they can do with this season, and then get to the offseason and try to make some moves with this team. But I think a big part of what Rich Paul wanted to do with the Lakers organization was say, listen, we have a working relationship here. Let's continue it, and to try to diffuse, certainly what LeBron said in Cleveland that fueled people, some other media reports about the relationship between Clutch and the organization. And that was a discussion they had on Tuesday in L.A., and so they'll try to move forward here, see what they can still make of this season and see what they can put back together this summer when Russell Westbrook's an expiring contract, when they have a couple of first-round picks in trade discussions now available to go out and improve this team.
That's really interesting, really important stuff there, Woj. Outstanding as always. Let's actually take a look at some of the things that they have to work with here. Assuming that Russell Westbrook opts into his player option, and he almost certainly will, the Lakers will have $130 million tied into Westbrook, LeBron, and Anthony Davis for next season. That certainly will limit any major moves, but it is the final year on the books for both LeBron and Westbrook, so the future then becomes a beautiful mystery, to quote Aaron Rodgers. So, Stephen, I turn to you. That was a fascinating report. So, LeBron, how do you see that situation right now? Has LeBron, people think he's put them on notice? Maybe not as much. What are we looking at right now with LeBron in L.A.?
Well, I don't think LeBron is thinking about leaving L.A. Why the hell would you leave L.A.? That's number one. Number two, I think it's a mess, but it's a mess that a lot of people are culpable for. You've got LeBron wanting them to take Russell Westbrook. You got Russell Westbrook not playing up to what he's capable of. You got Anthony Davis perpetually injured, and the combination of him and Russell Westbrook has drastically compromised this franchise aspirations. And then you have Jeannie Buss, because the one thing that we can't forget, let's ask ourselves a simple question. And I was talking to somebody about this just a little while ago. Let's ask ourselves this question: if somebody like an Alex Caruso was on this squad, would that make a difference? It certainly would make their prowess more significant defensively. Okay, we'd have that guy and what have you. Well, why is he gone? Because Jeannie Buss didn't want to pay the luxury tax. So when we look at it from that perspective, you've got Jeannie Buss, you've got Rob Pelinka capitulating and trying to be Mr. Pleaser, Mr. Nice Guy, and capitulating to the demands of a LeBron James. You got LeBron James, a basketball savant that couldn't see that somebody like Russell Westbrook wasn't necessarily the ideal fit for him. You had an opportunity to potentially get a Buddy Hield out of Sacramento, who's a sniper, but you didn't want him. DeMar DeRozan, obviously it would have been tricky to try and get him, but look at what he's doing in Chicago. Did you even explore it? There's blame to go around everywhere. Nobody can be absolved from it, and that's why they got a chance to fix it, because in a room together, they all got to look at one another and say, hey, we're all culpable.
They made bad decisions.
Yes, collectively.
Right, but the notion that LeBron put them on notice, the Lakers are on notice all the time.
Correct.
They go for it like they need to win all the time. It's what we saw with the Rams. That's part of being in L.A. and playing in the entertainment capital of the world, understanding what is demanded of you. So I'm not putting that on LeBron. The Lakers are always on notice. No matter, well, we think that they weren't on notice when Magic was there. Of course they were on notice. They have to make better decisions over a longer period of time. They made bad decisions. It's so funny when we go back and talk about all the Lakers that are somewhere else making all-star teams, helping teams get better. A guy like Caruso, who's not an all-star, but he can help you. So the Lakers have all that. I don't think that has anything to do with whether LeBron is there or not. I expect him to be in L.A. as well. But beyond that, do I expect him to be? No, not beyond next year.
So my next comments are only about the GOAT conversation. Now, I want everybody to remember that LeBron's probably not going to get out of the first round when y'all start talking to me about him being better than Michael Jordan. Now, I've seen this team. AD was hurt last year. They got bounced in the first round. Okay, so that means 2 out of the 3 years, they ain't contending. Now, the other year, they did make the championship and win it all. So, really, this is about the health of AD. Like, if he was able to stay healthy throughout the regular season, which has been a problem throughout his career, you need him to be an all-NBA top 5, top 10 performer. Since he is not that consistently, that puts more pressure on LeBron. And LeBron is putting him on notice that he ain't there forever. That's what I'm hearing. Might want to play with Bronny as last season. Might not be seeing eye to eye with management.
Well, you know what?
These are all things that happen when you start looking at the.
Well, damn it, why should we care if they're going home in the first round? That's it at the end of the day. Now, the brother averaging 29 and he's playing statistically over. But why should we care if you going home in the first round? We shouldn't.
If they even make it to the first round, the play-in tournament feels like a very likely scenario for the Lakers right now.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.